What if the one thing you trusted most turned out to be the reason for your fear? Dive into this creepy urban legend that will send chills down your spine. Emma was a young girl, just 14, who had to stay home alone for the weekend. Her parents had gone on a short trip, leaving her in charge of the house. It wasn't the first time she had been left on her own, but something about the empty house at night always felt a little unsettling. Still, Emma wasn't scared. She had her loyal dog, Max, to keep her company. Max was a large dog who always stayed close to Emma. He had a funny habit of sleeping under her bed at night, even though she had tried many times to convince him to sleep beside her instead. "You're so silly, Max," she would laugh, but she secretly liked knowing he was nearby. If anything strange ever happened, Max would surely protect her. That Friday evening, after locking all the doors and turning off the lights, Emma climbed into bed. She felt the familiar thud of Max settling under her bed, his tail softly thumping against the floor. The house was quiet, except for the faint hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen. Emma let out a small sigh of relief. Despite the silence, having Max with her made the house feel less empty. As she lay there, she reached her hand down over the side of the bed. It was a habit she had since she was little. Max licked her fingers gently, and she smiled. His soft, wet tongue felt warm and familiar. "Good boy," she whispered before closing her eyes. The first few hours passed peacefully. The clock on her bedside table ticked softly as Emma drifted into a deep sleep. But sometime in the middle of the night, she woke up. There was a noise, faint but steady. A soft drip. At first, Emma thought she might have imagined it. She listened carefully, her ears straining in the darkness. The sound seemed to be coming from the bathroom. She frowned but brushed it off. "It's probably just the faucet," she thought, trying to calm her nerves. To reassure herself, she stretched her hand down toward Max. His warm tongue brushed her fingers, just like always. "You're here," she murmured sleepily. She smiled and rolled over, closing her eyes once again. Later, the sound woke her again. The dripping seemed louder now. Emma sat up for a moment, thinking about getting up to check, but she felt too tired. She reached her hand down once more, and again, Max licked it. His presence calmed her, and she went back to sleep. When the sun started to rise, Emma woke up again. The dripping noise hadn't stopped all night, and now it was driving her crazy. She decided to get up and see what was wrong. Emma walked to the bathroom, rubbing her sleepy eyes. But when she opened the door, she froze. Hanging from the faucet was Max. He wasn't moving. His fur was wet and red. Emma gasped, tears streaming down her face. Then, she saw something written on the bathroom mirror in smeared red letters. It said, "Humans can lick too." Emma's heart raced as the terrible truth hit her. Max hadn't been the one licking her hand last night. Whatever, or whoever, it was, had been hiding under her bed all along.